Hello everyone, this is Anne from Odulcina Scrap. So I thought today I could share with you a junk journal cover that I've created. There's going to be two parts, one for the inside and one for the outside. So we're going to start with the outside, but this gives you an overview of what it will look on the inside. This junk journal cover is in my shop. Whoever wants to buy a cover already done and complete as a journal or just keep as is. So I'm taking a 9 by 12 envelope that I coffee stained, and my video didn't record, so I've lost the portion of gluing this cute lady from my latest kit. The link are in the description below for the kits that I've been using, and I have the matching fabric now, so I'm using the little polka dot that matches the flowers. So I'm just gonna do like a ruffle with the fabric, and this helps with where is the spine. It seems to me like it's a little bit less straight line with a ruffle of fabric like that compared to if I just leave it with the papers. What I could have done is make it larger than that and both sides of the spine to go on the back as well, fold in the middle and being a ruffle at the front and at the back. And at the same time, that would have make the spine a little bit more sturdy. I'm adding a little tulle. This tulle, I bought it brand new, and I washed it and dried it into my washing machine in my dryer like 100 times. Every time I was washing something for my kids or anything, it was going to the washing machine and into the dryer just to make it more soft and it didn't really damage it. But with time it softened it a little bit because they're more like a plastic than fabric. And I got a hold of an old one and it was so soft, and I thought, well, maybe the only difference is I need to wash it a couple of times. But it took like a couple of months actually to get to a point where I was kind of satisfied with that. So if you like the soft thing, maybe something you need to wash them a couple of times, like if they've been washed and used and washed again and again and again. This is a Crafty Me Shop lace. That one is the perfect pink, and it has the pearls and everything. Really, really cute. So because I didn't want a straight line at the edge, I just cut it. I removed a part of it, and it's gonna kind of give a dimension there. And I'll bring it at the back, not doing the entire back of the cover, but just a portion, because as you can see, the coffee stain, I've been doing the coffee stain with one of the doilies that I have, the plastic doilies, so it kind of stained the pattern there. And so it's cute by itself. I don't need to add too much, but I'm gonna add a little bit of lace and that pink lace as well. So at least when you look at the back, you have something cute to look at instead of just the plain back of the journal. I just want to make sure that it's not too bulky. So I keep it simple, but I just add a little thing. I've been using two different glues. So for the white lace, which is really, really thin because I'm gluing it on paper, I've used the art glitter glue that does a perfect job, and it's a bit less messy than the hot glue. But for that pink lace, which is kind of an applique, I definitively want to use the hot glue because that would be more job to glue it with the art glitter glue. So now let's add more details. I want to keep the upper right corner without too much things, but I definitively need to put something at the right. So I thought I could use a ruffle of the paper, the music sheets paper the first that I done was a little bit, it had too much of a tea stain, so I changed it for one that is a little bit more white. Here I'm going to use the same lace that I used at the back, and I'm going to add it a little bit on top of the music sheet ruffle, just to give a little bit more dimension and make it a little bit more shabby chic. So I moved to the bow because I wanted to use that seam binding that I crinkled with lots of folds, and I didn't have too much, so I wanted to make sure that I could do the bow and that I would not run out of it. So I start with doing the bow, and then I'm gonna add a length of it on top of the lace and the music sheet ruffle, just to bring some pink at the right, give more dimension, and the trick is to layer a couple of things together. One is not enough and 10 is too much. So two, three, four, that's the tip. As you can see, I use a lot of the spatula. It is really, really helpful just to not burn my fingers with the hot glue, but to create folds. So when you twist the spatula on top of your lace or your paper, you can easily create more folds, and it's a really easy way to create folds. If you've never played with that to glue your stuff, I highly recommend that you try. Maybe just try to find one that is not too big. That will help as well. But yeah, I'm in love with the spatula. It's a silicone spatula. See here again, I'm gluing the seam binding, and I'm using just the tip of the spatula so I don't flatten too much the seam binding, because I don't want to remove all of the folds and I don't want the seam binding to be too flat. So I'm using just kind of the side of it, as you can see. So you have a lot of control. When you want to flatten something, you use the whole spatula, and if you just want to use to glue a little part of it, you can just use a little bit of the sides, and that helps you to not put some glue everywhere and flatten too much the pieces you're trying to glue. So here I've put a little bit too much glue, so it was showing on the side of the pearl, so I've tried to remove it a little bit before it dries too much. So now let's go back to the bow. If we want to add some dimension, it's always good to sit the bow on top of either like a tulle with polka dot or that cheesecloth. And then I'm gonna use the fancy yarns to give it more dimension to the bow. This is my favorite mix. Look at the little tulle there, the fabric that is kind of a cotton, and those cute pink bows inside, like attached to the yarn. I just love it. But it's hard to do a bow with that fabric, that yarn, when there's little bows in it. So I'm just gonna fold into two and create with my fabric the one that has the mini flowers that I tear like about half an inch or even a little bit less than that, and I just love it. I've washed into the washing machine and into the dryer the fabric first, and then I just glue in the middle of it to hold it in place, and then I can put the bow on top of it. I'm gonna put the cheesecloth first, but I just put the cheesecloth and the bow on top of it, and it looks like it's part of the bow, but it's just sitting at the back of the bow. But it gives more dimension to the bow itself, because suddenly it's not just a pink bow, it has the fancy yarns and the flower pattern fabric, like if it's a ribbon, and I just love it. So I hope you love that too, because I might do that kind of bow for a while. I just can't get enough of it for now. It's still too new. So yeah, here you go. So we've done the cover and the back. The next video will be a video to show you how I've done the inside. Thanks for watching and have a blessed week. Bye bye.